Tottenham won, Sheffield United won. If you'd said that was going to be the scoreline back at the start of the season, that would be the result, it'd be a surprise. Was that a big shock, though, that Spurs didn't beat Sheffield United today?
No, it wasn't, given what we've seen of both Spurs and Sheffield United. And in all honesty, as this game played out, I thought Spurs very happy with a point. Sheffield United, for me, the better of the two teams. Yes, newly promoted, playing away from home. Spurs had their moments, as you would expect. But I thought Sheffield United, to their credit, always looked organised, never really looked stretched or in any greater bother than you would expect coming up against a team like Spurs, particularly a team like Spurs at home. But it kind of speaks to who Spurs have become this season.
What have they become?
They have become a team that have lost their identity. You're not quite sure what Spurs are doing well right now.
Why is that? They were Champions League finalists.
I trust me. If I had that answer, I'm sure Mauricio Pochettino, more than anybody else, would pay me a lot of money for that. But it's the same players. Maybe it's an unsettled dressing room, given the number of players that are going out of contract. Maybe it's the kind of pulling and tugging with Christian Eriksen earlier on this season that has somehow, again, unsettled the dressing room. But for all the talent that they have, and they are very talented players, you mentioned their season, not just last, but if you just look at how they performed the last 3 or 4, this is not a Spurs team that continues to struggle. And again, let's not take any credit away from Sheffield United, who have been simply outstanding throughout.
We'll get to them in a minute. Spurs' form, their last 6 games in the Premier League is frightening. I mean, 1 win. They haven't won any of the last 5 against teams apart from Liverpool. You probably think they can maybe get a draw at Everton, but Sheffield United, Watford and Brighton, and they get 2 points out of those 3 games.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I really can't tell you. And you thought that this was a Spurs team who maybe had turned a corner. We were talking about as much against Crystal Palace, which seems like an age ago now, and maybe good results in the Champions League, sees them find some momentum and some confidence. But you're just not seeing that. You're just not seeing that on the part.
It's like a hangover for them. But I think the story, and I know Son. I was pleased that Son scored after the week he's kind of had. I think the story here is Sheffield United. Now, I think these days there's very little, whether it's politicians, whether whoever it is, they say I got it wrong. Okay. Most of us in ESPNFC said Sheffield United will go down. Right? Yeah. Most of us have had stick because of that on social media. Fine, we're big enough and daft enough to take that. But what has been the reason for their success? Because for long spells in this game, they were the better side.
Because they know who they are to that point. They know who they are. They know what they're doing. They're organised. They have confidence in their systems, in their coach, in each other, in what they're doing. And I always say this. When you're an underdog, when you're the less fancied of 2 teams in any one game, you have to do the basics right. You have to pick up from corners. You have to make sure and track runners. Just the basics of the game, which Sheffield United does and does well, even when they went behind. At no point did they look stretched. At no point did they lose a certain defensive discipline. At no point did they just seem to throw caution to the wind in pursuit of the equaliser. An equaliser that they thought they got and then had taken away. And again, no panic from them. Nobody seemed to lose faith in what they were doing up until that point, despite them being behind. And then they get a deserved equaliser. And again, for me, Sheffield United were the better of the 2 teams. And it's also tough when you're a team who, overachieving as Sheffield United are, to hit the upright, to dominate a team like Spurs, and yet you aren't rewarded for it. It's easy at that point to kind of lose faith and, as I said earlier, maybe throw caution in the wind, even then.
Didn't think I'd be saying this, but Spurs could learn a lot from Sheffield United right now.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPNFC 7 days a week, subscribe to ESPN+.